What is going on, everybody? We are doing the Uncomplicated Podcast from the car today because we just busy people. It's Saturday morning. We got things to do, places to go, but we make time for you because we care about our listeners.
Yes, we do.
We actually do.
Because of the ones who listen.
Yeah. We want you to keep listening, and we hope that we make very good content for you, hopefully. Yeah. And if there's something you want us to talk about, just because, why not, let us know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Highs and lows.
Highs and lows. Here we go.
Low. We'll start with lows all the time. My low of the week is I just haven't been exercising that much.
Yeah.
And eating wise, either I've been pretty lazy with eating and my food and making food. Yeah. I have good intentions. I buy groceries, but then I don't make it. I'm like, let's go eat out.
Now the real question is, having good intentions, will that give you the results you need?
No.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
That I had good intentions?
Mm-hmm.
I guess not. But I like to think so.
It honestly is the first step.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That was your low.
Yeah. Not exercising too much, but I told myself that not to be hard on myself for the exercising this week and just move on, start off next week, restart next week, get back on it. So it's more just the food I've been pretty annoyed with.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. What about you? You're low.
It's the same thing, I would say. I've been moving a lot, but I haven't been weight training a lot.
But you have been, you have been moving a lot.
Yeah. Started playing ice hockey and ball hockey, and that's been pretty good.
Yeah. It's a lot of cardio.
Yeah. And just with that, I got down to below 170 pounds, which I haven't been in a very long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I usually hover around the 175. But for me, that's not a good thing, because I don't want to get smaller.
No.
So that's why I'm like, ugh. It's it's fun, it's great, good cardio. I'm having fun doing it, and it's good for my heart, but it's not good for my muscles.
No.
So that's why it's important that I stay on track with my strength training.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 3 times a week.
Next week.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, next week for sure. I'll make it happen. I'll make it a priority.
That's good.
Like we talked about in our previous podcast.
The second one. I think.
Second one?
Yeah.
In one of our previous podcasts. So if you want to hear us talk about priorities, just go check out that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I like it.
That's good. All right.
Highs. So my high has to do with social media. So.
Oh yeah. Let's go.
So this week was a week off of work, and I just threw myself into posting on TikTok because it just makes I post anything on TikTok versus Instagram. I was being a little bit more picky on what I wanted to put up, but I was posting up to twice a week on it. Twice a day, sorry.
I heard good things about him.
Yeah, he's not allowed to see it.
I'm not allowed. I only saw one.
You're allowed to see it. You just have to get TikTok. I don't want to show it to you because I'm shy.
I don't have TikTok.
I know you don't have TikTok, but if you want to see them,
I have to get TikTok.
You have to get TikTok.
Or you could just show me.
No, I'm too shy. But yeah, that's my high.
You're high.
Yeah. And I also got his friends to push him a little bit too. week's again.
Yeah, that last one, if you haven't seen it,
Go watch it.
go watch it. Yeah.
It's good. It's on Instagram, so.
I was amazed.
Oh. Yeah, for that part, yeah.
Like, I was like, what the hell? Who does this? It was wild.
One of your buddies,
You won't say.
she commented on his comment, like, don't get any silly ideas. Because he commented on, like, on my video.
Oh.
And then she was like, don't get any silly ideas.
Like, I won't do that. Don't even
I
think
was like
about it.
trying to reply something, and I'm like, I wanted to say something in the like, how like you already got a ring on your finger,
Yeah.
so you're good.
You don't need.
Yeah.
He's already happy with what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
My high. It's been a good week.
That's good.
I'm gonna surprise a lot of people with my next thing. It's a good week because I had 3 drafts.
Oh. I was like, what?
So fantasy hockey season is a big thing for me. I love it. I just eat it up. I love it so much. Gives me something to do. And even though like I have lots to do, but this is just a little change up. It's like one or 2 weeks a year where you just kind of lose yourself in hockey a little bit. So that happened, and that was very fun. Well, the other thing also high is that I started playing ice hockey. That was also very nice, very fun. And it started off with 2 games back to back, which was like pretty tough after a full summer of not playing.
Not bad.
And but yeah, after rollerblading all summer to going on ice skates, that was a big difference.
Not bad. I was thinking about it the other day when I was rollerblading. I'm like, it would be very different.
It's very different. It feels, when you go from rollerblading to ice skating, it feels like your skates are not sharpened.
Okay.
And like your weight is off, like from heel to toe.
Yeah. Huh.
It's just very strange. And it's like, how do I skate usually?
Yeah.
So that was a little adjustment in the first game warm-up, but we made it through, and we won the first game, which was nice. So yeah, those are my highs. And
What about
obviously,
hockey?
well, there's another one of my highs is also about hockey, but it's related to the video.
Oh.
Like I said, I was amazed. So, if you want to know what happened, you gotta go check out the video. I'm not gonna say it.
It's on Instagram.
It's on Instagram.
Uncomplicated
Fitness.
Fitness. At uncomplicated.fitness, I think.
Yeah.
It's on TikTok, same thing.
Check it out.
Yeah.
You'd be like, holy jeez, he's a lucky son of a gun. Yes, I am. All right.
Okay.
Highs and lows are done.
Yep.
You kind of hinted at the...
I know.
yeah, you did that. You did that.
I tried. So, I was talking about the whole, like, having good intentions with food, buying the food, and then just not making the right decisions. So what we're going to talk about today is how to grocery shop.
It is super important.
It is. And I feel like I've heard some tricks, and again, it all depends on what your goal is and like what you're trying to achieve, save money versus eat healthy versus lose weight, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to go in general. So I'm thinking that I'll like say an idea and then you can talk about it.
Sure. Let's work it that way.
So yeah, first thing I think when you're coming up to like grocery shopping is kind of like figuring out like, are you trying to save money with it, or are you like trying to figure out literally those things like money, lose weight, like, or not care, or just have snacks? You have family, so it's like you have to buy snacks, a bunch of snacks. Are you trying to buy like easy snacks, stuff that you have to cut out? Anyways, having to figure that out, and then that which makes it so you have to make a list. Could help making a list.
It's a must. Unless you're like me and you eat the same thing all the time, then you don't need a list anymore.
Yeah.
But list is priority.
It would make life easier. I find that every time I make a list, though, I kind of stray off.
Well, I assume you never not buy the things that are on the list, but you end up buying more stuff.
Yeah. Typically, unless like at that grocery store, there's not what I want.
Yeah, so you always stick to the list, but sometimes you add a little bit. You never subtract and then change things.
Typically, no.
Yeah. No. So that's why, again, the list is important, because you'll at least get the things that you know you need to get.
Yeah.
You're not going to, like, show up there, be like, oh, and then come back home and be like, oh, shit, I forgot this. Oh, I forgot that. Oh.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How do you write your list?
Okay, so I was going to go into that. Lately, I just kind of, I just write it up. I'm just like whatever I think I need, and I usually buy. I write it in. But at one point when it was helping a lot, was I would think about like whichever grocery store I'm in, and typically you go in the same grocery store, but it might change. But you kind of like, what's your usual travel? Like, how do you usually like go around the grocery store? So then that's how I like write it down. So I'm like, okay, first section, I'm thinking of the Loblaws we go to is like bread and stuff. So I'll write like bread, wrap, whatever I need. And then it's like veggies and fruits. And then it's like sandwich meat area. We kind of go in there, and then we go around, and then I think we go through aisles, or we go aisles first. And so I just write down like in order. Mm-hmm. I go through the grocery store in my head sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the way we do it depends on who's driving the cart.
Yeah, like who needs it more? The groceries, or just
who's driving the cart?
But usually you are.
Usually.
You're pretty good at it. Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe you're like, I'm gonna take it.
What I do is I go all the way around, and then I do the aisles, and then come back towards the cash. Mm-hmm. That's what I do.
You definitely, sometimes, you do that. Because for me, the thing I don't like about that is because the frozen stuff is and the cold stuff is all the way, like, at the end, but then we go through the aisle, so now we put the frozen and cold stuff in the basket. And now we still have to go through the aisles. And I'm just like, but it's going to unfreeze and get warm. And you don't care. But like, I care. But like, so usually you do those at the end.
So you're worried about the 10 minutes that we take to go through the aisles, not the 30 minutes it takes to drive home.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Because then it goes 40 minutes.
Okay.
Nah.
I'm just making sure. But like in terms of like get through it fast, I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like it does make sense. It flows well.
I think.
Make a list with like how you think you're gonna do the travel, and it just makes life easier. Then if you forgot something, usually you'll be able, I forgot this aisle, and it's just it's like easy. Another trick that I find also helps. A lot of people do this, but it's a lot more for like people that are trying to be really, really healthy and stay away from like
processed foods.
Processed foods, yeah. It's like you just stick around on the outside.
Stick to the outsides.
Yeah, so you don't go down the aisles.
But like, how do people live without rice? Like, rice is in the aisles. Rice is non-processed. I'm a big rice person. I eat rice a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to, like, have an excuse for that.
Yeah. But guarantee they make exceptions in the aisles. They just don't usually, like, they go specific stuff.
Yeah,
They
well,
don't, They don't go through the aisles.
No, like, well, that's the thing. It's like, usually, well, there's signs that say exactly what's there. But yeah, typically the aisles that have more processed stuff are like the ones when it starts hitting like crackers, cookies, and all that. Like, that's where it's a lot more. But yeah, the pasta and rice and there's sauces, like, but yeah, so like that's. But I tend to like to do the outside just to feel good about myself.
For sure.
To like put all like your fruits and veggies and all this stuff that's like
good.
It's like you start with that. Like,
that's another thing we do differently. You like the fresh fruits. Yeah. I'm a frozen fruit kind of guy.
You're starting to convert me a little bit.
I mean, I'm not trying to. Just to make it clear. It's not what I'm trying to do.
No,
it's just for me, it's I find it easier because they don't go bad.
No, exactly.
And
at first, like, for the veggies, I was like, that's disgusting. Because I'm like, how you did that? You put the frozen stuff into your prep stuff and like brought it to work, and I'm like, isn't it gonna be all wet and soggy? And you don't seem to think so for the veggies aspect. But then you made Brussels sprouts the other day and I was like, these are good. Like, they're not. But we also cooked them too. But yeah, so
they were very yummy.
Yeah, so I bought more.
Yeah, I know, it says that.
Well, I gotta eat more greens. I don't know if Brussels sprouts are the right ones, but
they're good.
Yeah, so I feel like it's about the same price.
Yeah.
There's nothing like cheaper or more.
Yeah, and they don't go to waste.
Yeah, especially
you're not disappointed.
Yeah.
You go to grab fresh blueberries, and then next thing you know, they're all...
Yeah, they're gross, yeah. That's fair. Start with the outside aisles.
It's an old, like, fitness hack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What, like, honestly, for me, the aisles part is not what's, like, I can't walk through it because I want everything.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's the bakery section. With all the fresh cookies and the fresh... I'm like, oh my God, get me out of here.
I know.
Like, I just want to eat everything.
I'm just like, what? Just this one? Just this one? I'm like, no.
No.
There's more than 2 in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a section that every time I walk through it, I'm like, oh, it's so...
Yeah.
I would buy so much of these.
Yeah. Well, I'm just kind of like, I used to be whenever I go through the cookie aisle, but now the bakery cookies are better than like.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just it's not as big of a deal, and I've done but yeah, it's don't go in that aisle if.
Yeah, like once in a while we get them, obviously, but like.
Well, yeah.
Like. Yeah, it's a struggle every time at least for me, every time I walk by it, I just look at it, I'm like, oh, that's so yummy.
Yeah, but we also have the issue of once we buy baked stuff. Well, I have this issue a lot more than you do, but like it gets eaten within 24 hours probably.
Fairly quickly, yes. Yeah. Yep.
I can't like I've tried to keep it for long term, like just eat 1 or 2 cookies a night, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I'd rather like eat 5, 6 and then not be good for a while. Not
have any for a while, yeah.
Which is not necessarily ideal if you do it a lot, but
yeah,
if you do it time to time.
It's all about balance.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking we could maybe talk a little bit about what to look in for, like, if you're looking at calories and all that, like the nutrition.
Yeah, I mean, like, we'll give them a few of our tips, like when we buy bread, example, like Because you hear a lot of people like, oh, you gotta cut bread if you're trying to be healthy. It's like, no, like bread's not, like, bread's okay. There's no bad foods. That's what we gotta like put in our minds. There's no good and bad foods. There's just foods that you can eat more and foods that you can eat less, that you should eat less.
Yeah.
So like bread, I like sandwiches.
Oh my god.
I like bread.
I've never seen somebody eat so much bread in one sitting.
It's like bread is, I love it. But you can buy a loaf of bread that has, let's say, 230 calories for 2 slices. Or you can buy a loaf of bread that has 150 calories every 2 slices. So that's like an 80 calorie difference every time you eat 2 slices of bread.
Yeah.
So let's say you're like me and you eat like 4 to 6 slices of bread a day. Like, that's like an extra freaking 320 calories.
Yeah.
No, 220. 240. Holy jeez.
It's okay.
240. 240 calories, an extra 240 calories a day, just based off the bread you pick.
Yeah.
It's like, that's huge. And like some people don't really think about that.
No. Well,
They're just like, oh, I'm gonna get the healthy bread.
yeah, which is a lot more calories.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's-
like. See, what is it? Whole grain or whatever.
Oh yeah, any of the like super fancy breads.
Yeah, like it's way higher in calories, and it's actually at first it's awkward. I'm not gonna lie, just looking through the bread and people are like you just get in your head and then you're like, okay, and then it gets fun.
It's like a game.
Yeah, you go through like every single bread and you're like, which one has like less calories? But then you also have to think. He thinks that it was the same bread, but it was not the same size of bread.
It was. I guarantee you.
No.
I guarantee you. I ate the whole thing. I know. You had maybe 2 slices of it.
And then he comes up to me. He's like, "We need more bread." I'm like, okay. But sometimes there's thinner pieces and thicker pieces.
Yeah, you got to look out for those. Because sometimes they trick you and they go like, oh, 2 slices, only 170 calories, but they're the thin slices.
Yeah.
And then you can find bread that is thick slices for 150.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And like the 150 calorie one that we get is like super good.
It's so yummy.
I love it. So
it's so like soft and moist and
yeah. So anyways, try that out. It makes a difference.
A huge difference.
And it feels good.
And yeah, and that allows you to eat what you actually want to eat, while still being aware of what and how much you're eating. The other thing like that I would recommend is sauces, barbecue sauces, and like salad dressings and stuff like that. Like, just look at it. Look at them. There's a lot of like fat-free options, calorie-wise options, like, which like, okay, they don't taste exactly the same thing. I'll give that to you. I'll give that to you. But at the end of the day, you're saving. If I look at the one specifically I'm thinking about is like the Italian dressing from Kraft. Okay. If you look at the fat-free calorie-wise one, is 5 calories per serving. If you look at the regular one, I think it's like, I don't want to be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure it's like 60 calories per serving. And the serving is 1 to 2 tablespoons. Like, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
So you either put 15 calories worth of sauce in your salad, or again, 180 calories worth of sauce. Huge difference. Huge. So it's up to you to kind of make those choices. And in the long run, again, it's going to help you. Same thing with like barbecue sauce. Some barbecue sauces are like crazy because it's all sugars. So there's some that are still made with sugar, but they're just better, like lower calories.
Yeah.
So just keep those in mind. And if you do use barbecue sauce, just, again, be aware of what that's like. So yeah, that's just little tricks that we use. We kind of compare every like little thing. Same thing with wraps. Wraps is the same as bread. We kind of look for, well, first of all, we look for higher protein one because it helps reach our protein goals at the same time.
Yeah.
And then we, if we don't get a protein one, we do the same thing. We look at like calories for one wrap.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to start doing that, I think start with bread.
Yeah.
And
like
sauces.
Yeah. Like Lily said, it's gonna feel weird at first because you're just gonna be in the bread aisle, like flipping every little, like, different kind of bread and like.
Yeah.
But like you just gotta realize, nobody cares.
No, they're probably like, man. Either they're like annoyed by it, but they're only annoyed by it because they're like I should do that.
Yeah. Or they're maybe like, oh, maybe they have an allergy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like.
Yeah. It was funny the other day. There's a guy at the bread place, and he was taking his time, and I'm just like, "You're in my way. Like, I need to check all the calories here, all the different types of bread." It was funny in my head. It was funny. but yeah, so start with the bread, and then sauces are a good go. Like whatever sauce that you don't think you would care too much about.
Yeah, just look for alternatives. Like
even mayo. Like mayo,
yeah.
they all taste the same to me.
Yeah.
Except for, well, if you get mayonnaise versus Miracle Whip, but
yeah.
You can still, there's like differences in those ones. So
Right.
I don't know if she can park there. Piece of advice: pay attention, people, to where you park, especially if you're like downtown area. Yeah. Also, if you're into like going into the fitness side of things, or even like not, but try to look for stuff that has a little bit more high protein.
Yeah, like we talked about with the wraps.
Yeah.
Easy way to add an extra like 10 to 15 grams of protein.
Yeah. Well, there's the yogurts too that you're always checking, and there's some that has more protein than others.
Yeah, so the yogurts, basically what I check is, first of all, I go like per, like price per like 100 grams.
Okay.
Didn't even check. Okay. Interesting.
He's off duty.
Okay, to explain the situation that's happening right now is there's a car that literally parked in front of somebody's driveway.
Yeah.
On the side of the street.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand why it might be confusing. Because
No, it's not confusing at all.
But
It's not. Like, the sidewalk is lowered. There's 2 signs saying, please do not block. This is a laneway.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Like, it's not complicated at all. And now, a bylaw just walked by, flinging his keys around, and it walked right by it, didn't even pay attention to it. So I'm like, I get a ticket because I'm like 2 minutes past my freaking time, and this person, it's like how? Anyway, so that's this current situation. That's why we're a little distracted. That's grocery shopping.
Yeah, let's end it.
All right.
On
that note,
yeah.
If you have more questions about grocery shopping, you let us know.
Yeah.
We'll answer them. And hopefully we've helped you out at least a little bit today. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.